So the Pittsburgh Steelers are literally cashing in on a rival's mess up, and the Cincinnati Bengals, they are completely bungling this offseason. Second rounder Shamar Stewart, he isn't going to sign anytime soon. I don't know if he's going to sign, period. Trey Hendrickson is being really mishandled. Now, I'm going to get to specifics on the Shamar Stewart situation, but the story on him is actually how the Bengals gifted new defensive stud Derek Harmon in the NFL draft to your Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, much of this Stewart issue is self-inflicted, but the Steelers, they really dodged a bullet here. A little preview on the Bengals' idiocy. Can the Shamar Stewart Cincinnati Bengals contract dispute be fixed? I mean, we're talking about that this arise from a change that the Bengals wanted to make with the contract. Typically, contracts for rookies, they have a predefined structure teams and players adhere to. There's also the collective bargaining agreement. But for Stewart, Cincinnati want to use him as a guinea pig. They want to establish a new precedent, one that would essentially void any guarantees in the contract that Shamar Stewart is set to earn, and certain conditions, like including but not limited to non-football injuries, off the field issues. It's kind of unprecedented with the Cincinnati Bengals, and Shamar Stewart's like, why should I be the guinea pig to this? You guys have never done this before, and until last season, the team has never engaged in such practice. They tried it last year with the 18th overall pick last year, Adarius Mims. He signed a standard contract in the end. But with Stewart, they want to change their philosophy. The rookie disagrees with it. The Bengals will not budge as they are wont to do. And now, once again, the Bengals have a salary issue with Trey Hendrickson. They have a contract issue with a really key rookie. So they could be looking at going into most of their offensive and defensive team activities, most notably defensive, without Shamar Stewart, who would have been absolutely instrumental. This is a really weak defensive line. And then also Trey Hendrickson isn't taken care of. So more on this shortly. But yeah. As has been common during the Connor's tenure as GM with the Pittsburgh Steelers, this draft board broke almost perfectly in this last draft for you guys. Needed a power component in the running game. Caleb Johnson was right there in the third round, but then a developmental quarterback was there. But then Will Howard, he lasted all the way until the sixth round. I mean, kind of crazy. But let's get to the gift that the Bengals gave you guys. And the player that I'm talking about is Derek Harmon. I mean, it wasn't a complete surprise that he was there when the Pittsburgh Steelers picked. I believe it was 21st. Plenty of rumors he would have gone earlier. And actually, he was being connected hardcore to the Cincinnati Bengals. Then you had Walter Nolan. Man, I can't say names today. Kenneth Grant. The pre-draft speculation was that they would each drive each other's value down, and he was kind of lumped all into this one group. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers ended up with the best one with Harmon. And just before them, the Bengals had the opportunity to take him, and instead they took Texas A&M edge rusher Shamar Stewart. So I don't know. I think the Steelers should probably send the Bengals a gift basket or something, because I think part of this situation as well is that Shamar Stewart is a little hard to deal with too. He's really digging his heels in. Other players I think would have actually kept going through the negotiation process, but Shamar Stewart's like, hey, I will never play for you guys because you've tried to do this. So he's digging in pretty strongly. I don't know why the Bengals are doing this. Their front seven needs so much work. You've already got Trey Hendrickson with a big question mark as far as his contract, and that's a situation that hasn't been resolved as well. And now this raw edge threat, it totally made sense for them to go after him, but now that he came into town, they're treating him so poorly. Stewart is anything but a sure thing, but his ceiling is astronomically higher than Harmon's. And the Bengals chose to go with upside. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, you guys are going to reap the benefits of that. Certainly aren't going to complain that he was there. And Harmon, he's looked like the real deal through OTAs, through mandatory team activities previously. training camp is right around the corner. So we're kind of looking at this really ugly fallout. It greatly benefits you guys, a big time rival in the Cincinnati Bengals, and they are just in a complete mess. So what do the Pittsburgh Steelers get? They get a fantastic asset on defense and a perfect scheme fit. And I think if Harmon went to the Bengals, Pittsburgh probably would have taken a running back there. I don't think they would have gone defensively there. It's hard to predict that, but they did have interest in Stewart. Cincinnati kind of saved them from themselves. So not only did the Steelers get a better player right now, but they also get to see a hated divisional rival really sweat it out with their top draft pick. It's so fun to see. There is no love lost between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Absolutely fantastic, and it is difficult to do this early in the morning, by the way. So what are the Cincinnati Bengals up to? They can't get deals done with the cornerstone of the defensive line. They can't get a deal done with Shamar Stewart. And while speaking on NFL Live, Jeremy Fowler, Field Yates, and current Bengals offensive tackle Orlando Brown Jr., Ryan Clark too, they all spoke about this current situation with Shamar Stewart. And Yates, he got it going by stating, "This one is unexcusable. We are talking about minute details of a contract that's pages upon pages long. This was one of the rawest players taken in the entire first round. Those reps are valuable for all rookies, but in most particular, Shamar Stewart." I just want to go through just the poor judgment of the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they have handled their offseason probably the worst in the whole NFL over the last couple of years. Waiting until the last minute to reward players. You've got Chase. Man, put Higgins on the tag for 2 years in a row until finally paying top dollar. Now they're doing the same thing with Trey Hendrickson. It's absolutely ridiculous. And Yates is speaking about the fact that Stewart, he hasn't even been present in the building. No rookie mini camps, no team activities, nothing for the Bengals. And the two sides can't come to an agreement. The Bengals think that the player's going to blink. I think at this point, neither one of these players are going to blink. I think the Cincinnati Bengals are setting themselves up for a really disastrous season. And that's after essentially paying the farm on offense. So I kind of want to leave you here with a little nugget, kind of showing you the kind of people that the Pittsburgh Steelers employ, and also to say goodbye to a recent player. And Zach Azzanni, he sent a really heartfelt message to a former player. And I don't know if you've heard, but Mike Williams, he just retired on Thursday after return to the LA Chargers. I keep saying San Diego, but I said it correctly that time, the LA Chargers. See if I can keep saying the Washington Redskins and say Commanders instead. That's really difficult too. So Williams signed a 1-year deal with the LA Chargers after the Steelers traded for him in the middle of last year. And Azzanni just had this to say: "Honored to have been a very small part of this man's journey. True pro, great human, blessed to know him." We're talking about a 5th-round pick that he was traded for with the Jets before the 2024 trade deadline. His first year coming back from an ACL tear, he kind of took a step back. Only 21 receptions for 298 yards and 1 touchdown, and that came against the Washington Commanders to help the Steelers pull off that upset. So he had a little bit of pop here in Pittsburgh. And in his introductory press conference with the Chargers, Williams did acknowledge that it was a terrible year for him. Last year was terrible for me. Just being honest, it was terrible. Probably the worst year I've had in the league by far. So I'm just putting it in the past. That was a past, and I'm trying to make it feel like it didn't happen for me. I think it just got to the point that he doesn't have the heart to play anymore. He's been a great teammate. I think he had a great time here in Pittsburgh. I don't think his worst season of his life was because the Pittsburgh Steelers weren't fun to play for. I think it's just injuries catch up with you, and as a player, you just get tired of it. So really class act, Azzanni sending that message, and Mike Williams, God bless you. I hope this retirement goes well for you and you are able to spend time with your family, and it's probably nice not to be injured every other day. So thank you guys. Go Steelers. I hope you continue to enjoy this offseason. Training camp is right around the corner. See ya.